Title: Knowing When to Apologize in a Relationship, a Guide to Building Trust and Understanding. In relationships, misunderstandings and disagreements are inevitable. Navigating these moments with respect and compassion can make a significant difference, and knowing when and how to apologize is a crucial part of this. Apologies are about more than just saying "I'm sorry," they're about acknowledging the feelings of the other person and showing that you value their well-being. Here's an in-depth look into when and why to apologize, along with tips to ensure that your apology brings you closer to your partner rather than further apart. 1. When you've hurt their feelings. It's important to apologize whenever you've hurt your partner's feelings, even if the hurt wasn't intentional. Emotional pain, big or small, is still real, and an apology shows you acknowledge their feelings. Maybe it was a careless remark, an action that crossed a boundary, or an emotional oversight. Recognizing that you've hurt them, even if unintentionally, opens the door for them to express how they feel and for you to address it together. A genuine apology helps to avoid harboring resentment and paves the way for more open and honest communication. 2. When you didn't keep your word. Trust is the foundation of any relationship, and trust is built on keeping promises, big and small. If you committed to something but didn't follow through, a heartfelt apology shows accountability. Whether it's a minor thing like arriving late or a major promise you couldn't fulfill, letting your partner know that you recognize the impact of breaking your word matters. This demonstrates that you respect their trust in you and take it seriously, which helps maintain the integrity of your relationship. 3. When you've been unfair or judgmental. Often, arguments happen when one partner makes assumptions or judgments about the other. Maybe you misinterpreted their intentions or were too quick to accuse them without considering their point of view. This can make the other person feel misunderstood and invalidated. Apologizing here means acknowledging that you may have judged them harshly or acted unfairly, and it gives you the chance to ask for their side of the story. An apology in this context is about humility. It demonstrates that you're willing to listen and understand rather than react. 4. When you've reacted with anger or frustration. Anger and frustration are natural emotions, but sometimes they lead to words or actions that hurt our loved ones. If you've raised your voice, spoken harshly, or been dismissive due to stress or frustration, an apology can make a world of difference. This is especially true if your reaction seemed out of proportion or if it happened in the heat of the moment. Apologizing for your reaction shows your partner that, while you're human and sometimes act impulsively, you don't want them to bear the brunt of those emotions. 5. When you've ignored or dismissed their needs. Sometimes in relationships, we become so focused on our needs that we may overlook our partners. If they voiced a concern, expressed a need, or reached out for support and you weren't there for them, it can create a sense of disconnection. Apologizing in this case acknowledges that you value their needs as much as your own. It's a reminder to both of you that relationships require attention and empathy, and that overlooking these things can harm intimacy and trust. 6. When you haven't been present or attentive. In today's busy world, distractions are everywhere, and sometimes, without realizing it, we neglect our partners. Maybe you were preoccupied on your phone during an important conversation, or you didn't notice they needed comfort after a rough day. Apologizing for being distracted can show your partner that you want to be more present and that they deserve your attention. It's about letting them know that you're aware of the impact of your inattention and that you're committed to being there for them. 7. When you've crossed a personal boundary. Boundaries are essential for healthy relationships. Sometimes, however, we may unintentionally cross a boundary, whether it's emotional, physical, or related to personal privacy. When this happens, an apology shows that you respect their limits and that you're committed to honoring their comfort zones. It also lets your partner know that their personal boundaries are as important to you as your own, creating a safe environment where both can grow. What makes a good apology? Timing, sincerity, and an understanding of the impact are key to a successful apology. It's best to apologize when you're calm and have had time to understand the situation. A rushed apology can feel insincere, and apologies that shift blame or justify actions can make matters worse. An effective apology includes acknowledgement, regret, and a commitment to change. Saying, "I'm sorry I hurt you by doing X. I see how it affected you, and I'll work on not doing it again," is far more effective than simply saying, "I'm sorry." Why apologizing matters in a relationship. Apologies strengthen relationships by rebuilding trust, showing respect, and promoting emotional closeness. When done sincerely, they're a reminder that you value each other's happiness and are willing to make changes to keep the relationship strong. While nobody's perfect, the willingness to apologize reflects a commitment to growth, empathy, and understanding. In a healthy relationship, apologies aren't about taking all the blame, they're about recognizing the impact of our actions and prioritizing each other's well-being. By understanding when to apologize, you can foster a bond that's built on mutual respect, compassion, and love.